Hello, I'm Monty, listening with Faith Inkubators. Thank you for taking a look at this video on how our Head to the Heart handouts are set up. There's been some questions recently about the Head to the Heart handouts that are included with the materials as well as the journals. Now that the journals are going away, how does Head to the Heart work without the journals? Well, the journals are a nice to have, but they're not a need to have. They were added a few years back. What we're doing with Faith Inkubators now and with Head to the Heart is going back to kind of how we did things originally, and that was to give you PDF versions of the handouts that you can print out, and you can make as many copies as you want. You can send them as emails. If kids are looking on screens or iPads, you don't even have to print anything. It's really up to you. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to take a look at these handouts so you can become a little bit more familiar with them if you are not. In this case, we're going to look at OT01, Old Testament. When you download your files, you're going to see two different folders here, Documents and PowerPoints. We're going to go into Documents, and we're going to go into Handouts today and open up the Youth Handout. Now, again, everything that is on this handout, except for a brief little narrative that's in the journal, and that was kind of put together for parents. But we do have a parent handout that fills that need that we'll do another video on at another time. Anyway, the bottom line in all this is that everything that is on these handouts are available on the journals and vice versa. So the journals, again, are a nice to have, but they are not needed. You don't have to buy journals for your kids. You can use these PDFs and print out as many things, as many copies as you need. So let's take a look at how these are set up, should you not be familiar with them. First page is kind of a cover page with a piece of art that's thematic. And we go to the second page here. You'll notice that there's a cartoon at the top for kids who are visual learners. Everything teaches towards the point. And this is a visual opportunity for kids to kind of latch on to the point. And you'll notice that the Faith 5 is kind of our game plan for each lesson, for each small group time. Share, read, talk, pray, and bless. So you'll see share, read, and talk on this first page. Sharing highs and lows. And highs this week, lows this week. Again, we always suggest that groups do highs and lows first. That's pretty important to kind of open the kid before you open the book, so to speak. What's going on? What's the best thing that happened to you this week? What's the worst thing? And then we read the Bible verse. Every lesson has a central verse. In this case, it's Psalm 25. And then we talk about the verse. How does it relate to your highs and lows? How does it relate to the lesson that you just saw, the presentation that you saw, now that we're breaking into small groups? What does it mean? Unpack it. And then we go to the next page, which is kind of more of the standard content-y type of stuff. I'm just making up my own words. Content-y. And this is images, role play, questions to ponder, and some quotations. And again, these are all set up for different learners to latch onto in different ways. Images for those who are visual learners. You can look at the cover photo on that first page, the cartoon, and the painting by Dr. Hetchi, which is on the back page. Look at those pieces of art. Say, how do they relate to the theme? Where are you in these works of art? So on and so forth. And then for kids who are kind of movers, you can role play. You can act out some central themes to each lesson. That's what these are set for. So you can get some kids to do kind of impromptu theater, I guess, theater, and just act out some of these scenarios in your small group. And then we've got questions to ponder down here too. Every lesson has some questions we want the kids to look at. And then my favorite is quotations. Every lesson has 4 or 5 quotations. And what I like to do is I like to tell the kids, read all the quotations. Which ones jump out at you, tweak you on the end of the nose? Which ones are your favorites? And tell me what they mean to you in your own words. That's just another good way to unpack the lesson. So you've got a lot of tools in your toolbox as a small group leader and to teach towards the theme again and again. So the final page here, pray and bless, are the last 2 parts of the Faith 5. You'll see the Dr. Hetchi art right here. And there's some really good detail and color in this art. It's just beautiful stuff. And then the definitions over here as well, some of the main themes that we want the kids to think about for each particular lesson. And then we ask that we pray for each other, their highs and lows, and then the blessing. And I always like to tell the kids to put your pinky up in the air and to bless someone either on the back of their hand or on their forehead, and that they have to bless at least 2 people in their small group before we break. And just say, may God bless you this week, or may God watch over you this week, something like that. You can also do that at the end if you bring your kids back together after small group, have kind of a group blessing as well. And then there's always a remember one thing. And I'd like to tell the kids, if you don't remember anything, if you fall asleep, if you don't remember anything at all, this is the one main point I want you to remember. And there's always something down here to kind of tie everything together. And in this case, the Old Testament is a rich witness of God's action in history, claiming a people and setting the stage to bless the world through the coming of the Messiah. Setting the stage to bless the world. That's what we're talking about as we go through this particular lesson, the Old Testament introduction. All right, well, so there you go. Just a little bit of an unpacking of a particular, of a lesson in Head to the Heart. Again, all this stuff is also available in the journals. The journals are a nice to have, not a need to have. You can print as many as you want. You can use them electronically if you don't want to use paper. You have all kinds of options. You can print these on 8.5 by 11, just kind of standard letter size, back to back, 2 pages stapled. And that's what I do most of the time. And I give my kids paper folders and I have them collect these. And so we can go back and take a look at these later on should we want to refer back to them. You can print them on tabloid size, 11 by 17, front and back, and then fold them in the middle if you have such power in your printer. There's a lot of options to print these, but 4 letter pages, and you can go to town and be giving your kids everything that the journals have and be printing just what you need when you need it. So there you go. Thank you for taking the time to look at this video. Again, I'm Monty Lisney with Faith Inkubators. If you have any questions, shoot us an email at info@faithinc.com, and we'll see you on down the line. Take care.